So Mr. Applegate, just wanted to show you, this is your cutwater, and this is the sister 1954 Chris Craft cutwater. This one was hull number 10, I believe. This one right here, the sister that came in. But anyway, so interestingly, as I mentioned, I thought perhaps the cutwater was missing from the boat, and your dad found something similar, and applied it, or tried to apply it. And I think that may be what happened. If you look at the difference between these two cutwaters, obviously yours is much nicer and much shinier, but you can see there's a difference in the overall width at the top. The rest of it seems to be pretty much exactly the same. So I think that theory I had may have just proved out. So the cutwater, of course, we were having trouble getting the cutwater to fit properly. And so the wizard from the chrome shop, where we have the polishing done, and he came up and actually did some magic with a torch. He knew right where to apply heat to your cutwater and to make it bend a certain direction. And then he shaped it on the boat for us, right up here in our shop. And he came from Nashville to do this, at our expense, by the way, and shaped it and polished it on our own equipment right here, and it's ready to go on your boat. I'm going to put it back on your rack while we're talking. And I wanted to show you a few other things. We went to your rack to get the rudder to put on your boat, and of course there wasn't any rudder on the rack. We found the prop, found your old prop, the new prop, found all kinds of neat stuff, but no rudder. So we purchased a rudder last week, or maybe it was a week before, and the rudder's installed. And when we were installing the engine, Aaron was installing the engine. Of course, he had to put the prop shaft in and the strut in. And when we went to put the strut in, we found this frame that the strut bolts come through. You see it on the new strut bolts over there. The frame that the strut bolts come through, had some rot damage to it and a crack in it. So we've sistered that frame, removed the rot, and then sistered that frame. We also found that the ends of the cradle for the tank were rotted pretty deeply. I mean, matter of fact, they really wouldn't hold the screw for the straps. So our craftsman Jeff cut the ends rather than making whole new cradles. He cut the ends and then made new ends to put the tank in. So and he did all that work to the frame, and that was $905 to do that. And then the holes were badly wallered out, and they had like a 3/8 bolt in them, and the holes in the strut as well were wallowed out. And so what we did to solve that problem, of course, we went with a larger bolt. And then down here, these bolts, we countersunk them. We bought instead of carriage bolts, we bought flatheads and countersunk them in here, which allowed us to enlarge the holes and be able to center the holes, because the holes were much larger than the carriage bolts, and so that was going to slip and slide around. So that's how we solved that problem. Here's your new prop shaft, and then you got a new strut bearing in your strut as well. So those were the surprises that we had. Let's see, there's one other thing that we ended up doing. It was $300. I can't remember. I wrote you a note about it I just can't remember what it was off the top of my head right now. Sorry about that. There was something that we spent $300 on and fixed, and I don't recall what it was. As you can see, your gauges look great. Your clock is actually not operable. She cleaned up your clock, but she has no way of making the clock operable, and we couldn't find any new old stock or anything of that sort. So we've got your clock in there, filling the hole that it filled originally. And of course, these gauges look absolutely gorgeous. The restoration work that we had done. We got your switches installed and everything operates. So we're moving ahead on your project, and just wanted to give you an update, and we're ready for the final push. Oh, let me zoom back out. We're ready for the final push on this baby. Thanks.